My name is Darius Randell, and this is my MASCOM 201 presentation. Nikola Tesla, a Russian-American mechanical engineer, founded the basis for alternating AC currents in machines. Marconi was an Italian inventor who created the radio. He used the works of others to create something new. He introduced the first uses for the wireless telegraph and saved 700 lives on the Titanic by using his invention to communicate that they needed help. The term superbug, which was coined by Dr. Pepsel, can be broken into 6 points for its philosophy. A niche is something that it fits into its particular group that it falls in place with. Indie meaning it's independent media. Symbiotic means it can coexist with others that are like it. Persistent and resistant, hard to get rid of or hard to forget. So once you've seen it, it's hard to get it out your memory, and it's hard to get it out of other people's as well. Adaptive means it has to possess longevity and adapt with the times. Stealth massive, you won't even notice it, but it will become huge without you even realizing it. Appointment watching versus binge watching. Appointment watching is watching a show every week at the same time. Binge watching is watching multiple episodes of a show all in one sitting. This is more prevalent nowadays due to things such as Netflix and Hulu that can play back live events. So you don't have to watch it at the time, so you're able to do other things. Binge watching offers a lot more freedom than appointment watching does. 7 things I wish I knew in college. 1, true friends are hard to find. Just because they're your friends on day 1 doesn't mean they're your friends on day 2. And just because you didn't like them on day 1 doesn't mean you won't like them on day 2. So always be open to making friends. 2, manage your money. Managing money is very important for a college student, especially considering you usually don't have a lot of it. So managing the money can be one of the most important steps you take, and it helps you later on in life. 3, being a teacher's pet is actually a good thing. Teachers are more prone to help or want to help students that they know and that they are comfortable with. Otherwise, they'll just treat you just like everybody else. You miss an assignment, oh well. Whereas teacher's pet, maybe you get an extra 30 minutes to email it to them after class or something like that. Anything can help. 4, stay ahead of the curve. Always make sure you're on top of your work. You don't want to be somebody that is doing their work at the last minute. You don't always want to be late places. You don't always want to just do anything after it should be done or right on time. Do it beforehand. 5, be prepared to have a roommate. A lot of people underestimate how much effect roommates have on you. Most people spend a majority of their time in their rooms, so naturally your roommate will probably be there with you. Your roommate can be your best friend or your worst nightmare. It depends on what you make it. 6, do what interests you. College is all about finding yourself, so go out and find what you want to do and do it. It's also about class, but you have to find yourself before you can elevate yourself to be ready to take on the workforce. 7, college is over before you know it, so live it up. If you don't live it up, it'll pass by and you'll miss everything. So sometimes take a break from your studies and remember to enjoy yourself. College, as compared to movie making, is very similar. Both are a gamble and neither is guaranteed to pay off in the long run. Movie makers invest millions in movies while college students invest thousands in pursuit of an education. Anything can happen, so be prepared. The gamble in college is that you may waste your money on a degree that either may not land you a job or that in 5 to 10 years may land you a job in a field that is no longer prevalent. This means you can't make money and you are stuck or have to go back to school and make the same gamble over again. Movie makers struggle with the same thing because normally they are given the ability to make movies. Now, when you make a movie, it's no guarantee that it will be a hit. So, naturally, you're taking a big risk and a big investment in making this movie. And if the movie flops or does not do as well as projected, you can lose millions of dollars. When you translate bricolage, it means do it yourself. This is taking something and making it new, making it your own. An example of this are like the memes that you see on the internet. Crowdsourcing is many people working together to divide up work and make it easier. Examples are online video games such as Call of Duty, where you work with your team to defeat the enemy. Or you can connect it back to college, where they may have you work in groups to work on a group assignment that otherwise may be too big for one person, but as a group you can break it down and get better detail and complete the task. The third person effect is an effect that makes people think that mass media affects others differently than it does them. An example of this would be somebody seeing an ad for a car. Now when you see the ad for a car, most people would think, this would never make me buy this car. What, just because James Bond had it, I should get it? No, that doesn't make any sense. But they would think that other people would see it, and they'd be like, oh, people are so stupid. They see this, and I guarantee they just going to jump up and going to go buy a new Toyota. Makes no sense. I would never do that. But actually, in reality, that can happen to you as well, because you're a third person in somebody else's eyes. So technically, if you look at it, this is actually a very true statement. The rule of 7. The rule of 7 is you have to see something 7 times before you do it. It doesn't make you, but it can help motivate you. And it is entirely up to the viewer's choice. In the picture, it is a picture that smoking kills. Well, when you see this the first time, if you're a smoker, you may say, you never know. Maybe, Every time you see it, you seem more critical of it, but really in your mind, you're thinking about it more and more. This may lead to you quitting after you've seen it the 7th time. It's not guaranteed, but it can help motivate you. Because after you've seen it consecutive times, it starts to stick in your mind. When it sticks in your mind, it's all you think about. The more you think about it, the more likely you are to do it. Internet advertising versus newspaper advertising. The internet can flash advertisements in your face in an instant without you doing anything. You can simply open up a tab and boom, one pops up in your face and it forces you to look at it. You're going to inevitably exit out of it, but even when you exit out, it may be more behind it, or at a later time, another one will pop up. They are able to do more advertising in less time and is not filtered. Anything can pop up, especially if it relates to a site that you are on. However, with the newspaper, since it is your choice to read and see the ads, newspapers are not as likely to have as many, being smaller and not as wide as the internet. Normally, people pay more attention when they are looking at newspapers because you're choosing to read it instead of just being on the internet that happens to pop up. You choosing to read it means maybe you're searching for an ad, or just seeing it there, maybe you'll take the time to read it since you're already taking the time to read the newspaper. They are less concentrated, but less risky and more details. There are fewer of them, but the risk of somebody not actually looking at it is less. And there's more details, so they're actually sometimes better than their internet counterparts. Now, the implications of this, well, though the newspaper may be better, the internet is all about speed. The new world is all about speed. How fast can you do something? How fast can you get this done, and how fast can you get your point across? That's all they want. So the internet is surpassing the newspaper when it comes to advertisement. This is not necessarily a bad thing, but it does lend itself to implicate that the days of newspapers are numbered, while the internet and advertising on it is flourishing. This may implicate a switch from newspaper companies transferring over and joining with internet companies and forming a conglomerate. Trade publications may be better known as trade magazines. These magazines often have to do with specifically one topic, whereas normal newspapers or magazines would deal with a variety. This one is more focused on the exact thing you are looking for. Agenda setting tells the individual what they should be thinking about. It may or may not work, but generally, you will end up thinking about it. The picture illustrates a cat from the Humane Society. Now, their whole purpose is to get you to focus on this cat. When you focus on the cat, you start to read the stat line next to it. This is supposed to get you emotionally involved. When you're emotionally involved, you're more likely to do something. So now that you're emotionally involved, you may get physically involved and lend yourself to give money to the corporation. Net neutrality is the principle that internet server providers and the government should not treat anything on the internet separate from anything else. It promotes all-around equality on the internet. In the picture, it illustrates some of the problems that people may have when they go to favorite websites that may not make as much money as other websites do. This means that internet service providers cannot charge you more money just because that site does not make as much. They have to keep a base price for internet service as a whole. Native advertising is advertising that matches the function of what it appears on. This can be connected to ads that are for Twitter promoting tweets, or ads that promote Tumblr actually promoting the Tumblr posts that you may see. It is a form of advertising that helps to lend itself to what it's actually about. The Hosni Manifesto is a form of writing that is used to motivate and remind people what they strive for. You can have this on your phone, on your computer, or your bedside when you wake up in the morning. But people use this to keep themselves motivated. Say you are trying to lose weight, but you're not losing as much weight as you want to, so you think about quitting. Well, when you think about quitting, reading this could help you re-motivate yourself to try harder and to lose the weight that you want. It is also applicable when it comes to jobs. Though you may not have the job you want at a time, reading this will help you realize that you're striving for that job that you want, which will make you work harder. And working harder can help lend itself to you getting that job. Or it can be anything as simple as going to school or anything such as that. This is the end of my lesson, and I thank you for watching. Again, my name is Darius Randell, and this is a presentation for my Mass Comm 201 class. I hope you learned something from the presentation today, and I hope to be doing more of this in the future. Thank you.